All right. So we are starting chapter 2 with pre-request skills. Um, so this is about simplifying complex expressions by factoring. Okay. So we are going to look at some examples here. The question says factor and simplify. Be sure not to have any negative exponents, and fractions. Okay, so we fraction in numerator or denominator of your final answer. So we will start with something simple that you are already familiar with. But as we do that simple question, so I'm going to remind you what actually you are doing, because now you are doing some of the factors automatically. So we have, as you see, two terms here. Terms are separated by a negative sign or positive sign. So we look at each term and we find the common factors. So we have a to the power of 7, a to the power of 3. So a to the power of 3 is going to be the common factor. So you pick, as you see, the lower exponent here when you're doing the factoring. So 3 is the lower exponent. So we have b squared and b to the power of 3. So b, as you see, 2, 3, you pick the lower one, 2. So that's going to be the common factor. So what you do after you pick the common factor, you take each term and divide it by this common factor. So you are dividing a to the power of 7b squared by a to the power of 3b squared. So a to the power of 7 divided by a to the power of 3. So you keep the base, you subtract the power. 7 minus 3 gives you 4. And b squared divided by b squared is 1. So plus, and now we are going to divide the second term, a cubed b cubed by a cubed b squared. So a cubed divided by a cubed is 1. B cubed divided by b squared is b. Now using that technique, we're going to factor and simplify more complex expressions. So we have b, as you see, right? How many terms we have? So this is term 1, and then uh, we have a subtraction sign, and this is term 2. All right. So first, I see a number here and another number there. As a first step, it is better to collect them together so that it is easier to see what is the common factor. Same thing with the second term. See, there is t, 3, and there is 2x. I'm going to put those together. So 4 times 6x, 24x. So we have 3x squared minus 4 cubed, 5x plus 1 square. 3 times 2x is 6x. We have 3x squared minus 4 squared, 5x plus 1 cubed. Now we will start factoring. So we have 24x, we have 6x. So common factor is 6x. We have 3x squared minus 4 cubed, and in the second term we have 3x squared minus 4 squared. So 3x squared minus 4, the lower exponent is 2, so we pick the 2. So we have 5x plus 1 squared, 5x plus 1 cubed. So 5x plus 1, again, the lower exponent is 2. We pick 2. So that is the common factor. Now we're going to open bracket and then divide each term by this common factor. We are dividing the first term. So 24x divided by 6x gives you 4. 3x squared minus 4 cubed divided by 3x squared minus 4 squared. You keep the base, which is 3x squared minus 4, and subtract the powers. 3 minus 2 gives you 1. I'm going to make this bracket a square bracket. All right. So now divide 5 squared plus 1 squared, 5x plus 1 squared by 5x plus 1 squared. That is 1. Okay, so we divided the first term. Now we're going to do the same thing for the second term. So we are going to divide this second term by this common factor. 6x divided by 6x, 1. 3x squared minus 4 squared divided by 3x squared minus 4 squared, 1. 5x plus 1 cubed divided by 5x plus 1 squared. So we pick 5x plus 1 and subtract the powers. 3 minus 2 gives you 1. Don't forget the bracket because you will have to distribute this negative sign. Next step. So we are going to simplify this bracket here now. So common factors are still the same. So we have here 12x squared minus 16 minus 5x minus 1. Okay, so I'm going to collect negative 16 and negative 1. So that will give us negative 17. So negative 5x minus 17. And if this is factorable, you should also factor this. And this is also, again, factorable. Okay, so if we factor this trinomial, so we get x plus 1, 12x minus 17. So now we factored everything. No negative exponent, no fractions in numerator or denominator. So that's the final answer. So let's look at C now. This time we have rational exponents. Maybe it is a little bit harder to see what is the common factor. So again, we have two terms, as you see. So we look at x. So x to the power of 1 over 5. And the other one is x to the power of 1. So the lower exponent is 1 over 5. So x to the power of 1 over 5 is the common factor. Now we look at y. So one power is 2 over 3. The other power is 1 over 3. So 1 over 3 is lower than 2 over 3. So we pick 1 over 3. Open a bracket. Now take the first term divided by this common factor. So x to the power of 1 over 5 divided by x to the power of 1 over 5, 1. Y to the power of 2 over 3 divided by y to the power of 1 over 3. So you do y to the power of 2 over 3 divided by y to the power of 1 over 3. So you keep y, you subtract the powers. That will give you 1 over 3. So y to the power of 1 over 3. So negative sign. Now we divide second term by the common factor, x divided by x to the power of 1 over 5. X divided by x to the power of 1 over 5. So you keep x, you subtract the powers. That will give you x to the power of 4 over 5. Y to the power of 1 over 3 divided by y to the power of 1 over 3 is 1. So we are done. So next, we have again two terms. Term 1, 2. So we look at the numbers. So 2 over 5, 3. No common factor. Now we look at variable x. One is x to the power of negative 4. The other one is x to the power of negative 3. So x to the power of, so which one is smaller, right? One power is negative 4. The other one is negative 3. So negative 4 is smaller than negative 3. So we pick negative 4 as a power. So y, now we have y to the power of 4 and y to the power of negative 2. So smaller exponent is negative 2. Let's open a bracket. So we are going to divide the first term by this common factor. Okay, so these two are gone. So 2 over 5 y to the power of 4 minus, you subtract the powers, negative 2. So that will give you y to the power of 6. So 2 over 5 y to the power of 6 plus, now we take the second term and divide it by the common factor. So these two are gone. So you get 3x to the power of negative 3 minus negative 4. That will give you 1 as a power. So 3x. Okay, so but we are not done. First of all, we have to have a common denominator here. Okay, so let's do that first. So x to the power of negative 4, y to the power of negative 2. If we have a common denominator, we get 2y to the power of 6 plus 5 times 3, 15x over 5. And next step, getting rid of the negative exponents. Again, so we should not have any negative exponents. So if you have a negative exponent in if you have a term with negative exponent in numerator, you move it down and make it positive exponent. Or if you have a negative exponent in denominator, you move it to the numerator to make it positive. So then we will have here 2 y to the power of 6 plus 15x over 5 times, I don't need a bracket, x to the power of 4 y square. Let's look at E. Okay, so we have, so in numerator we have two terms. So we look at the numbers, 3 over 4, 2. No common factor. Now we look at variable A. So one exponent is negative 1 over 3, other one is positive 1 over 3. The lower exponent is negative 1 over 3. Open a bracket. So we have 3 over 4. So if you divide this first term by the common factor, we only get 3 over 4. Minus, now divide second term by this common factor. We get 2. And we have a to the power of 1 over 3 divided by a to the power of negative 1 over 3. So subtract the powers. 1 over 3 minus negative 1 over 3 gives you 1 over 3 plus 1 over 3, which is 2 over 3. Divided by a minus 3. Now, we should have a common denominator here because we are not allowed to have fractions in numerator or denominator. So no fractions in numerator or denominator. So we're going to get rid of that, and we should not have any negative exponents. So we need to get a to the power of negative 1 over 3. Okay, so I'm going to move a to the power of negative 1 over 3 to the denominator, and so that we have a positive exponent there. And now let's have a common denominator here. Okay, so 3 minus 8, a to the power of 2 over 3 over 4. So now we are going to move 4 to the denominator. So 4a to the power of 1 over 3, a minus 3, and we have 3 minus 8, 8 to the power of 2 over 3. As you see now, we don't have any fractions in numerator or denominator, and we do not have any negative exponents. So everything is in factored form. Let's look at F. So we see that there are two terms in numerator, term 1 term 2. Okay, so let's look at the numbers first. 1 over 3, 4. Nothing is common. Let's look at the other terms. So x plus 1 to the power of negative 1 over 4. So x plus 2 to the power of negative 1 over 4. X plus 2 to the power of 3 over 4. So x plus 2 to the power of, so smaller exponents is negative 1 over 4. That is the common factor. Now let's look at the terms with 2x minus 1. 2x minus 1. One power is 2 over 5. Other power is negative 3 over 5. The smaller exponent is negative 3 over 5. Now open a bracket. So take the first term divided by this common factor. Okay, so we are doing 1 over 3 x plus 2 to the power of negative 1 over 4, 2x minus 1 to the power of 2 over 5 divided by x plus 2 to the power of negative 1 over 4, 2x minus 1 to the power of negative 3 over 5. This and that is gone. So you get 1 over 3, 2x minus 1, subtract the powers. 2 over 5 minus negative 3 over 5. That gives you 2 over 5 plus 3 over 5, which is 5 over 5, which is 1. So we have 1 over 3, 2x minus 1. Okay, so minus sign. Now I'm going to take the second term and divide it by this. Okay, so you have 4, 2x minus 1, negative 3 over 5, x plus 2, 3 over 4, divided by x plus 2 to the power of negative 1 over 4, 2x minus 1, negative 3 over 5. Okay, so these two are gone. So you get 4 times x plus 2, subtract the powers. 3 over 4 minus negative 1 over 4. So 3 over 4 plus 1 over 4, which is 4 over 4, which is 1. So 4 times x plus 2. So denominator is the same, x plus 2 to the power of 3 over 4 to x minus 1 to the power of 2 over 5. Okay. So we have negative exponents here that we need to get rid of. And we have fraction in numerator, and we have to get rid of that one too. Okay, so next step, I'm going to move these to the denominator and make the exponents positive. And I still have x plus 2 to the power of 3 over 4 to x minus 1 to the power of 2 over 5. Okay, I got rid of these negative exponents, move them down. Now I'm going to work with this bracket here. Okay, so there's a fraction. So let's have a common denominator that will give us 2x minus 1 minus 3 times 4, 12 times x plus 2. So over 3, actually you can move that 3 directly to the denominator right away. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to do it here. So now you can expand this bracket and simplify. So you get 2x minus 1 negative 12x minus 24 over 3 times. Now we have to collect the terms. Okay, so we are multiplying here x plus 2 to the power of 1 over 4, x plus 2 to the power of 3 over 4. To add the exponents, when you multiply, you add the exponents. So 1 over 4 plus 3 over 4 gives you 4 over 4, which is 1. So 3 times x plus 2. So 2x minus 1. Now collect these ones. So exponent is 3 over 5, 2 over 5. Add them, 5 over 5 gives you 1. Okay, now collect these ones. I'm just checking if there is any mistake I made here. We have negative 10x minus 25 in numerator. Okay, so let me check if there is so negative 1 over, yeah, it is that. Oh, okay, correct. So 3 times x plus 2, 2x minus 1. Okay, so as last step, we also need to factor negative 5 from here, leave everything in factored form. So we get 2x plus 5. Okay, so last example in the handout. Okay, so let's look at the numerator. So we have two terms in the numerator, this and this. Okay, so let's check the numbers. One is negative 1 over 2, the other one is 2 over 3. So nothing is common. Let's look at other factors. X minus 1 to the power of 3 over 4, x minus 1 to the power of negative 1 over 4. So common factor is going to be x minus 1 to the power of, smaller exponent is negative 1 over 4. Negative 1 over 4. So let's check the other factors. So we have x plus 2. One is exponent negative 1 over 2. And the other one is also negative 1 over 2. So negative 1 over 2. So they are the same. So x plus 3. One exponent is negative 3 over 4. The other one is positive 1 over 4. So negative 3 over 4 is smaller exponent. Let's open the bracket. So we're going to divide now the first term by this common factor. So we get negative 1 over 2. So x minus 1 to the power of 3 over 4 divided by x minus 1 to the power of negative 1 over 4. To subtract the powers. 3 over 4 minus negative 1 over 4 gives you 4 over 4, which is 1. So x minus 1. Now, second one, x plus 2 to the power of negative 1 over 2 divided by x plus 2 to the power of negative 1 over 2. They are gone. X plus 3 to the power of negative 3 over 4 divided by x plus 3 to the power of negative 3 over 4. That is also gone. Okay, so we have this plus. Now we are going to divide this second term in the numerator by this common factor. We have 2 over 3 x minus 1 to the power of negative 1 over 4 divided by x minus 1 to the power of negative 1 over 4. Gone. X plus 2 to the power of negative 1 over 2 divided by x plus 2 to the power of negative 1 over 2. Gone. X plus 3 to the power of 1 over 4 divided by x plus 3 to the power of negative 3 over 4. To subtract the powers, 1 over 4 minus negative 3 over 4 gives you 4 over 4, which is 1. So x plus 3 to the power of 1. The denominator is the same. Okay, so next step, we are going to get rid of the negative exponents and also the fractions here. Okay. So I'm going to move those to denominator, okay, and make them have positive exponents. So x plus 3 to the power of positive 3 over 4, 3 over 4. Um, I still have those two in the denominator. Keep them as they are. Okay, so this is our denominator. Now work with this bracket. Simplify. So common denominator would be, so this is 2, that is 3, that would be 6. So we are going to multiply this by 3, this by 2. Okay, so negative 3x minus 1 plus, we're going to multiply this by 2 times 2 gives you 4. 4 times x plus 3 divided by 6. But again, you can directly move the 6 to the denominator. Okay, so we have 6. And now let's look at this denominator. Okay, so we have x minus 1 to the power of 1 over 4, x minus 1 to the power of 1 over 2. We are multiplying means you need to add the exponents. 1 over 4 plus 1 over 2 gives you 3 over 4. So we have x plus 2 to the power of 1 over 2. And now we have this x plus 3 to the power of 3 over 4, x plus 3 to the power of 1 over 4. Add the exponents, you get 1. Now let's work with this. To expand, negative 3x plus 3 plus 4x plus 12. So we get x plus 15 over 6 times x minus 1 to the power of 3 over 4, x plus 2 to the power of 1 over 2 times x plus 3. As you see now, there is no negative exponents, and also there is no fractions in numerator or denominator, so everything is in factored form.